Good morning, everybody. Welcome to grammar. Alright, since we have learned about those good sentences and those correct sentences, we've started talking about maybe ways to make the sentences better. So yesterday we talked about how we can add details or extra stuff to the subject or the predicate. Remember, we talked about how instead of saying the boy peered, it might be a little better to add the small boy peered, just to tell a little bit more to make your sentence a little bit better and a little more interesting and a little less confusing. The same thing, I could add it to the predicate of the sentence. The boy peered at the tiny bug, and actually tell more about what he was peering at. And that just makes that sentence a little bit better, a little more interesting to tell more. The same thing with the girl is afraid. I could add stuff to the subject, the girl, and say the curly-haired girl is afraid, and that just kind of makes it a little bit of a better sentence. It has more details, it tells more stuff. I could do the same thing on this one. The girl is afraid. The girl is afraid of big spiders. This time I added it to the predicate and I told what she was afraid of, and that just tells people a little bit more so they have more information. Alright, so today's lesson we are going to be talking about trying to make the sentences sound a little bit better. For example, if you'll notice, I have two sentences from about our story. Rabbit tried to help, hedgehog tried to help. That's both true in the story. Rabbit tried to help and hedgehog tried to help. But if I was writing about this, it might be a little better, it might be a little faster if I combine them. What I mean by that is, do you notice in Rabbit tried to help and in Hedgehog tried to help that there are words that are repeated, or that means the same words are in both sentences? What are the same words that are in both sentences? Yeah, they both say tried to help. That means their predicates are the same, because rabbit is the subject of this sentence and hedgehog is the subject of that sentence, but their predicates are exactly the same. They both say tried to help. What we could do to make this just a little better, we could combine the subjects like this. Instead of saying rabbit tried to help, hedgehog tried to help, I could just say rabbit and hedgehog, tried to help. And that would sound a lot better than having to repeat yourself. When you're going to talk about the same predicate, maybe somebody or something is doing the same thing, like in this sentence, it's a good idea if you want to try to combine it, and it just makes it faster and easier and better. Don't you think it sounds better to say rabbit tried to help, hedgehog tried to help? Wouldn't it sound better and easier just to say rabbit and hedgehog tried to help? Yeah, and it saves time too. You don't have to type as much or write as much. Let's try another one. Monkey said it was not his fault. Iguana said it was not his fault. That's true. I remember when we read Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. Monkey, he told King Lion it was not his fault, and Iguana, he told King Lion it was not his fault either. But would there be a better way to write both of these sentences to kind of combine them or put them together? I think so too. Is there any part of both of these sentences that is repeated or the same? Yeah, they both said it was not his fault, because that's the predicate is the same again. This one said it was not, I've circled the wrong thing. Let me go back. There we go. Said it was not his fault in this sentence. And then Iguana said it was not his fault in this sentence. That kind of goes all the way down there. There we go. Both of their predicates are the same again, just like in the last sentence. They have different subjects, monkey and iguana, but monkey and iguana did the same thing, so they both have the same predicate. And wouldn't it sound a whole lot better if when I wrote those, I actually combined them and tried to make them say the same thing? Like this. Monkey and Iguana said it was not his fault. Wouldn't that sound better than having to say both of these people said it wasn't their fault? We could just put it together and say Monkey and Iguana said it was not his fault. I think that would be faster and easier and a little bit better, wouldn't it? Yeah, so I'm kind of just putting together the two words with the one thing that was the same they did. Let's try another one. Owl was very sad. Owl would not wake the sun. Oh, I remember that part too. After her baby got killed, she was sad and Owl would not wake the sun. So, what's the same in this sentence? This one's a little bit different. You're right. This one just has this word the same, owl. They have the same subject this time. You're right. Their predicates are different this time, but they have the same subject. So owl was very sad. Owl would not wake the sun. We could combine them too and make them sound a little bit better and make it a little easier. If we just, trying to find the same color blue, or very close to the same color blue, there we go. This is how we could do that. We're just going to say owl one time instead of having two owls. Owl one time, and then we can tell both of the things that she did instead of having to do it in two sentences. So we would say owl was very sad and would not wake the sun. And all we had to do was say owl one time. And it was a little faster and a little bit easier to write it like that, where I just tell both the things that owl did in one sentence. That's just kind of combining both of the sentences to making it a little bit faster. And we have one more, I think, to practice on. All right, Mouse wanted to say thank you to Snake. Mouse took some flowers to Snake. What's the same about both of those sentences? Mouse wanted to say thank you to Snake. Mouse took some flowers to Snake. Oh, the only thing the same in both of these is the word mouse. They've got the same subject. Just like in the last sentence, their subjects are the same, but their predicates are different. What they did is different. But since I'm talking about mouse, I could just put mouse one time and then say both the things that she did. So it would be like this. Mouse wanted to say thank you. Oops, thank you. And take some, I'm going to have to move that or it's going to go off the thing. There we go. And take some flowers to Snake. Because I noticed that these were also the same, the two snake and two snake. So I just had to write it one time. See? Just one, two snake, and one mouse. But I had to say everything else because I didn't repeat it. But yeah, Mouse wanted to say thank you and take some flowers to Snake. Doesn't that sound a little faster and a little easier and a little better? It does kind of. Anytime you want to say kind of the same predicate or the same subject, sometimes you can combine them and it just sounds better to do that when you're writing. Our practice today is on this skill where you are going to see, so when you get your paper today, you're going to have to look, I went too far, there we go. You're going to have to look and try to see, are the subjects the same? No. Are the predicates the same? Yeah, and if the predicates are the same, you're just going to write it one time. Whatever's the same, you just write one time. Whoopsie. You're just going to write it one time. But then you can combine the subjects with the word and. Rabbit and Hedgehog tried to help. And that was a little faster. Same thing in this one. Said it was not his fault. Said it was not his fault. I only had to do it one time instead of two. And then I can just combine the subjects, monkey and iguana, with that word and. On these ones, though, it was the subjects that were the same. So I could just write the subject one time. And then I could combine both the things that she did with the word and. Was very sad and would not wait the sun. Same thing on this one. Mouse, where the subjects were the same. So I just had to write mouse one time. But then I had to say, wanted to say thank you and take some flowers to snake. So all you're doing is combining either the subjects or the predicates to make your sentence sound a little bit better. Alright, you have a page in your workbook that you're going to practice, so it's in your assignment right now. Again, if you have any trouble with this assignment, remember you can always send me a message or give me a call and I will be glad to help you with this assignment. Alright, good luck!